This public park that you're using for your interview, gone.
Oh, it would just not exist if
No,
it weren't for
just
the government.
disappear due to disarray. The grass would grow up, the swans would take over, they'd be attacking people.
Okay. Without government, these swans right here would be attacking people. Thank God the government's controlling them right now, right?
Yeah. You pay for pest control, so like they are.
This guy's out here wanting to like kill swans in this park. So, earlier this week, a really cool guy named Bernie Sanders. Do you guys know who he is? Mm-hmm. Okay, right. You're kind of like, yeah, I know who he is. He said earlier this week that billionaires should not exist. They have too much money. They're hoarding the wealth in this country. Poor people are poor, so they shouldn't exist. What do you guys think?
Any thoughts?
I agree that the wealth should be distributed a little bit between everyone, because if one person has too much of the pot, then they control a majority.
Okay, what do you think?
I agree with him.
Okay, so he wants to tax them within the next 10 years so much that there is not a billionaire left, that they all have to scale back how much money they have. In total, within the next 10 years, he would take $4 trillion from the billionaires in America. Do you think that's kind of along the lines?
I think it's a little bit more fair. I think taxes should just be proportional to their income and how much they have, and scale it down for people who make less.
So if someone has $2 billion, what rate should they be taxed at?
Like versus someone who makes like what, $10?
It's not versus, but like if someone has $2 billion in their bank and that's their wealth, how much of it should we take?
Maybe like 40% of their earnings, give or take.
Okay. How should we get rid of billionaires in this country?
I don't think they're necessarily a problem that we need to get rid of. They're not like a pest, but they should use their earnings to help out everyone else a little bit more.
Do you think that maybe we should just let them help people instead of stealing from them? Because what is taxation? What are we doing when we tax people?
Well, stealing isn't like a nice word for that. It makes it seem like it's almost a crime to do that.
Is it? Is it a crime to steal?
Not, but using the word stealing for that makes it a little ambiguous.
Well, what's the definition of theft?
To take without asking or permission.
What are taxes?
It is like paying your due for living. The due, like everyone should be required to put forward to help everyone else. Granted, taxes aren't like ideal, but it's one of the gray things that like you kind of just have to grit your teeth and get through.
Okay. So if I went up to you and I was like, look, my buddy Mike Miller over there is he's poor, he has no health care, he's really just down on his luck. Look at him, he's sad. Look at him behind you. He really needs $10. Can I have it? Can I just reach into your pocket right now and give him $10? Because it's your due.
Take $1 from 10 people, and that would be a lot better.
Okay, so it's better if we steal from more people.
On a smaller scale, because that means a lot more people carry the burden.
Okay. All right, sounds like you're justifying stealing from people to me.
You can call it what you want.
It's okay to steal from people.
If you want to call it stealing, that's your prerogative.
You should look in the camera right now and say...
You like stealing money from people.
I do. No, I'm against taxation. I don't think anybody should be stolen from, but you think something differently.
Everyone has their own different political opinions.
Okay. Are you willing to look in the camera and say, I support stealing from American citizens?
I won't say that, because that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. What are you saying?
I believe that everyone should carry part of the burden.
Burden of what? What's the burden that we have to carry?
All the extra that happens in this country.
Go on, because I don't... So if someone's taxing me at 40% and you say, oh, it's part of the burden you have to carry, I want to know what that burden is.
You're also making, in that situation, you're making $2 billion. So do you expect people that make $10 to pay for what you use and what you like want from this country?
Well, so aren't you telling the billionaires?
You want infrastructure, you want products, and you want everything already made, and you want upkeep. So are you not willing to spend some of your profit to gain that upkeep?
why do I have to give my money? Why does the government have to take my money in order for those things to happen? Is the government the only people that can put a slab of concrete on the ground and call it a road?
If the government doesn't take your money, where are they supposed to get their money from?
Good question. If they don't take my money, where do they get their money from?
They don't get money.
Oh, there we go.
Well,
they don't
they
get
don't have any money.
because that money is mine. Then they shouldn't exist, right?
Okay, then say goodbye to your road upkeep. Say goodbye to all these public things. This public park that you're using for your interview, gone.
Oh, it would just not exist if
No,
it weren't for
just
the government.
disappear due to disarray. The grass would grow up, the swans would take over, they'd be attacking people.
Okay. Without government, these swans right here would be attacking people. Thank God the government's controlling them right now, right?
Yeah. You pay for pest control, so like they are.
This guy's out here wanting to like kill swans in this park. Okay.
Wow, you are being very ambiguous with your claims.
Said pest control. I don't see swans as a pest. You know what I do see as a pest? Pest. I would say the definition of pest to me, because you know it can be whatever you want, are people who want to steal from me in order to pay for parks. Let's get rid of the parks. Why do we need parks to live?
Okay. We don't need parks. You want to live in some dreary utopian society with nothing but skyscrapers and brick walls.
Man, I did not know the government is the only reason we have these things. What do you think, sir? Do you think the only reason we have nice roads and public parks and pest control and all these great things in the country because the government steals from us through taxation?
Yes.
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 So we're justifying stealing.
Well, I'm not sure about your definition of stealing.
Well, let's go through it. What is your definition of stealing?
Taking something from another person without their consent.
What is taxation?
I think taxation is monies that are taken from us for the benefit of the good of all.
But you're missing that important part, without our consent.
I could agree with that.
Are you willing to justify stealing then?
Well, in those simple terms, I mean, in that logic, I suppose so.
Okay.
Yep.
Does that make you feel like a bad person?
No, I don't feel like a bad person.
So if I came up and stole from you, if I stole that really nice watch from you,
Yeah.
would I be a bad person?
Well, what's the public good?
What's the public good out of Medicare for all? It raises Medicare costs, it raises healthcare costs, destroys the healthcare industry, destroys our healthcare profession in general. What's the public good out of stealing people from Medicare for all?
I don't know anything about Medicare for all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would
But
cost...
one of the things that I think about what our tax dollars go to is, for example, our national defense.
Okay. The
And,
government's the only person that can protect the country?
to the extent that we have the protection that we have, yes.
Okay. All right, well, let me ask you this. The point of these questions today, and I don't know where the other people went, but is Bernie Sanders. Do you know who he is? He's running for president.
Yes.
Earlier in the week, he said that billionaires just shouldn't exist. There's too much wealth that they're hoarding. They need to
but
share.
Bernie Sanders just became a millionaire, too. And I suspect that if he became a billionaire, he wouldn't be saying that about billionaires.
I don't know, maybe he would. Maybe after he takes all the money from the billionaires, he'll just house them in his, 3 mansions that he has, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Should we tax billionaires to the point that they no longer have billions of dollars?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no different than the money that I've earned.
Yeah.
They've earned it as well. I don't think we should penalize them, if you will, for them being prosperous or them being industrious. No different than, my earnings.
Okay. So maybe you don't support taxation all that much.
To some degree, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, and I love your program.
Oh, thanks. And of course, you guys know the drill already. I don't have to tell you that I need your guys' support to be able to come out here and keep making these videos, interviewing people, just talking to everyday regular people who are going to protest. You can go to CaitlinBennett.org and check out weekly deals. We have a whole section of weekly deals that you guys can purchase products from. Supplements, masks for Halloween. You can be the Forbidden Man for Halloween. We have a mask of him, shirts, bumper stickers, books, everything. And the best part is that it supports me directly, and I will be forever grateful if you guys start going there and getting products from there.
InfoWarsStore.com and get your products. They're the best.
Don't forget.
Don't forget that.
Say it again.
I don't know what that is.
InfoWars Store products.
Just go there. Support Ferrari, baby.
If you guys liked this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. If you want to support me so I can keep making videos just like this, visit InfoWarsStore.com where you can get great products like Brain Force, which gives me all the mental clarity I need to make these videos. Or take Turbo Force, which provides me with enough energy to make it through a long day of interviewing liberals. Not only are these products going to enhance your life, but they make sure I can continue bringing you all the content you love. Make sure you also join my Patreon at patreon.com/CaitlinBennett so I can hire security for when I attend rallies and do street interviews. If you sign up, not only will you be able to keep me safe from all these nasty Democrats, but you can receive cool perks such as shoutouts, autographed photos, and even have your name in the description of every single YouTube video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.